3. Jesse James and Others. Similar rumors have dogged the memory of Jesse James, and no less than 17 persons, according to his granddaughter, have claimed to be the original Jesse James. As Billy the Kid was a child of a cattle rustling wars, so Jesse James was a product of the bloody border warfare of western Missouri and eastern Kansas, beginning with the conflict of the free soil issue, and passed into the Civil War bushwhacking, and culminating in postbellum outlawry. As a boy on a Missouri farm, Jesse played at shooting or hanging Jim Land or John Brown. In his youth, it will be recalled, Wild Bill Hillcock was a member of Jim Lane's Redlegs, and had his cabin burned down in retaliation for Missouri border ruffians. And Buffalo Bill's father, Isaac Cody, was likewise involved in the Free State cause. In 1863, what had been a game between the Jesse and Life and Death Fair. While plowing a cornfield, he was seized and lashed with a rope by a squad of federal militia, who nearly hanged his stepfather and subsequently arrested and jailed his mother and sister. Joining the guerrillas under Bloody Bill Anderson, he was outlawed at the close of the war. Whether or not they were driven to the crime by persecution, he and his brother Frank and their cousins, 4 younger boys, all ex-guerrillas, turned to robbing banks and trains for a livelihood. This background in sectional conflict and civil strife perhaps helped make Jesse James stand out in the popular imagination as a symbol of revolt and protest against the forces of tyranny and injustice. For most Americans, he represents the Robin Hood tradition of the good bad man. For Americans, he represents Robin Hood, the good bad man, certain aspects of which are seen in Billy the Kid. In his bland, quixotic humor and impish willingness, however, the Kid, like Wild Bill Hickok, has more in common with the tradition of the cheerful rogue, which has been given us bad boys and bad good men, from Robin Hood to Till and Spiegelman to Huckleberry Finn. Jesse James, on the other hand, robbed from the rich and he gave to the poor. He'd had a hand and a heart and a brain. And he all but achieved martyrdom through the death of treachery. These lines, reminiscent of the refrain from the ballad, were described in his monument at his mother's request. Murdered by a traitor and a coward whose name is not worthy to appear here. The classic instance of Jesse James's chivalry is an episode in which he paid off the mortgage for a poor widow and then stole the money back from the mortgage owner. The same story is told of Sam Bass in the Texas Robin Hood, who was also a victim of the treachery of one of his own men. The best example of a good boy gone wrong. The last Robin Hood of the Southwest was Charlie, Pretty Boy Floyd, of Salina, Oklahoma, described as a nice, soft-spoken boy, good to his mother, with a special grudge against spankers and sheriffs. It was his custom to inform the sheriffs ahead of time when he was about to rob a bank, and it was so well known that he would rather pot a sheriff any day than to rob a bank nowadays, and sheriffs invariably locked themselves in and barred the doors that left town as the date approached. The list of sheriffs and deputies whom Pretty Boy had shot in the head, he never shot except in the head, and there was only one record of his missing, via desperate law.